Hey, my ladies. How are you doing? How have you really been? Yeah, I just care about you and I really, really want to know. So you can put in the comment section how you're doing and just, share something and I will respond. Today we'll be talking about something very interesting that many mothers go through after delivery. Before I start, welcome to Care and Counsel with Emma. Here we talk about everything that concerns women, especially your mental health. So things that affect your emotion, things that affect the way you think, things that affect the way you behave as a woman. So if you're a woman, early 20s, middle age, single, married, whatever level you are in life, there's going to be something here for you. So just stay tuned and listen. And if you're a man that loves women, you have women in your life, whether you're a father, a husband, an uncle, a brother, and you have women in your life that you want to understand better and that you want to bring out the best in, you're also welcome here because you're going to learn a lot that you're going to help them with. Yes. So today I'm talking about baby blues or postpartum blues versus postpartum depression. I know you might have heard this or you might not have heard it, but you might have experienced it after childbirth or not. You might have had some of the symptoms and you're thinking, oh, it's just what is normal with having children or stuff like that. Or you're wondering what is wrong with me. Some people have been termed crazy after they gave birth. They were like, oh, she ran mad after giving birth. What is this? What is that? What is that? Today, we are going to be talking about it in detail. And when you're done, you're going to be a pro in this subject and you're going to be able to handle it. You're going to know the causes, the symptoms, and how to navigate if these symptoms occur in your life. Yes. So there are sometimes, experiences that we go through as women, and we are so ashamed to share it with other people because we feel we are going to be stigmatized or we are going to be laughed at or we are going to be called, all sorts of names or even looked down on in the society. But now these things are no longer secrets. They are no longer things you have to die with. They are things that can be solved. They are things that can be worked on. They are things that can be resolved. So today we are talking about postpartum blues and postpartum depression. So what are baby blues or postpartum blues? So it is a very common emotional adjustment that women go through after birth. It's experienced by many mothers, usually begins within a few days after delivery or even immediately after delivery, often improves within about 2 weeks after delivery. And the common signs are a lady crying very easily. This happened to me, like, when I had my first child, people were around me and I just felt, oh, they were focusing on the child. They were not paying attention to me. This, you just start finding fault with everything everybody does. And that will make you cry and cry and cry. Mood swings. You just feel happy this minute and the next minute you're feeling the extreme sadness. Then you're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling like this is too much. I cannot handle it. You're feeling irritable. You're feeling, you don't want anybody around you. You're easily angry. You're easily agitated. You're anxious. Am I going to take care of this baby? Is this baby safe in my hands? Am I going to be a good mother or not? Difficulty sleeping despite being tired. Like you've breastfed, you've stayed awake most nights, and yet when you have the opportunity to sleep, you're not able to sleep. So this is a temporary situation that lasts for maybe a week or two, and then it resolves on its own. You actually don't need any treatment or anything for this. That is seriously, you don't really need anything serious. So what is postpartum depression? So postpartum depression is a more intense form of baby blues. So it lasts longer, it interferes with your daily life. It's actually a medical condition, not a personal weakness. You see, common symptoms of this include persistent sadness. That's beyond the sadness I explained in the baby blues. It lingers. Like sometimes it feels like the whole day you're sad. Feeling of hopelessness, like you don't see any hope, you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. You're not even wanting anybody to tell you anything otherwise. Losing interest in activities. You see your baby, you don't feel like bathing your baby. You don't feel like having a bath. You don't feel like dressing up. You don't feel like doing anything. Like you've lost interest in all activities. When you have visitors, you don't even want to spend time with them. You just want to be alone. You're finding it difficult to bond with your baby. Probably the baby hasn't started smiling and all that, and you're like, oh, the baby doesn't like me. I'm not a good mother. Oh, this, that, the other. Excessive guilt. It could be from, the way you gave birth. Probably you thought you were going to give birth vaginally and you ended up having a CS and you are being guilty about it. Or one thing or the other, maybe there was a complication with you or with your baby and you're feeling you're the cause. It might not even have any serious reason why you're guilty, but that feeling of guilt, fatigue that goes beyond normal newborn exhaustion. You're always tired. You're not motivated to do anything. Changes in your appetite, lowered appetite. You're not interested in food. You're not hungry. You don't want any food. This is different from the pregnancy aversion of towards some food. This one is generally there's nothing you want to eat. You're just not interested in food. You have trouble sleeping, even when baby sleeps, just like in the baby blues. You feel worthless. You feel worthless, even after bringing such a huge human to life. Somebody's husband, somebody's wife, somebody's CEO that you brought to the earth, and you're still feeling worthless. What could be bigger than that? And the thoughts of self-harm. This is the height of it. You start feeling like you want to kill yourself or you want to hurt yourself, like cause yourself wound, or you just start thinking crazy thoughts about hurting yourself. This particular aspect of it, this particular symptom requires immediate medical attention. So not the normal medicine we talk about. This one is psychological, mental, medical attention that would be required in this case. So baby blues and baby postnatal depression. We are going to look at the differences between them and the similarities. So baby blues starts within a few days, like I mentioned earlier, while postnatal depression could start later or even, but it could start anytime within the first year of giving birth to your baby. And it usually lasts for months or even longer, weeks, months or longer. But baby blues last for just 2 weeks, most at most, and then it goes away. So baby blues has mild emotional changes, while postpartum depression has intense. Baby blues, the symptoms of it are intensified in postnatal depression. It doesn't affect your daily function, the baby blues, but the postnatal depression will sort of cripple you. You wouldn't want to do anything. You will not be able to do anything. You will not have the motivation. You will not have the ability. The contributing factors or the causes for both postnatal depression and baby blues include hormonal changes after birth. There is a surge in the pregnancy hormone after birth, and then they will start diminishing after some time. So that causes, the way you behave when you're on your period or when you took in newly, those are the things that will start happening in your body. You start seeing yourself feeling like you want to cry easily, you want to do things like you experience during baby blues. Sleep deprivation as a result of feeding the baby or staying awake because the baby is awake and stuff like that can trigger baby blues as well. So, but remember, baby blues is mostly a temporary thing. So, physical recovery from labor or surgery, depending on the one you went through, can also trigger baby blues and also postnatal depression. Previous history of anxiety or depression can trigger postnatal depression. Limited social support or excessive social support. When a pregnant woman delivers, it's a good thing when people, assess her and know if she actually needs the support they are offering. Sometimes the support becomes overwhelming for her, and then it could trigger baby blues or it could trigger postnatal depression. Sometimes be wise in the way you relate with ladies that just gave birth newly. Sometimes they need their space, they need quiet, they need time to process the pregnancy journey and what they've been through. So respect this. Be sensitive enough to notice what is going on and to accord them that respect. You see. So limited social support or excessive social support could trigger both postnatal depression and baby blues. And then there is no single cause. Most times these causes intertwine together to produce whichever one. Just that baby blues, like I said earlier, is not as severe as postnatal depression. Postnatal depression presents itself stronger and deeper and lasts for longer than baby blues. So some other things that could cause postnatal depression is financial or relationship stresses. Like I mentioned, I think earlier on, that it could be because they are going through financial issues in the family. Maybe the husband lost a job or the partner lost a job or you lost your job or you're wondering how you're going to cope with the new financial stress of childcare, or probably you went through an emergency CS that cost you a lot to do. Those things could trigger postnatal depression. Traumatic childbirth, prolonged labor that lasts for hours or days. Some people go through a long labor, before they have their children, or probably you didn't plan to have a CS and you just found yourself in the theater having a baby through CS, and probably it's your first time having a surgery and you didn't plan for it. It could be traumatic for you, and that could trigger postnatal depression. Being in the ICU, that's the intensive care unit after a delivery, could also trigger postnatal depression. Having multiple births, having twins, triplets, or more could trigger postnatal depression because taking care of these children is hard work. Yeah, taking care of one child is hard work enough, and then when you multiply that hard work by two or three, mothers of twins, mothers of triplets or more, I give you your flowers. You're the most important people here because you're doing a huge work. Well done. So you see, these things could trigger postnatal depression and many other things. There are some things, these are the common ones that I'm stating here. There are some that might not be so common that could trigger this. So for the baby blues, you can easily resolve it by prioritizing your rest, eating balanced meals and staying hydrated, spending time outdoors. Spending time outdoors when possible, when the weather permits or when your environment permits. Fresh air has a way of making you feel good. If you're not used to it before now, try it out. Put your baby in a carrier and hold the baby to your chest or and walk around, or put the baby in a stroller. Or if you have somebody that is taking care of the baby, go for a walk without your baby. Although the fresh air would do your baby good as well, because it has a calming effect on the baby too. So that makes the baby sleep, and feel better. So outdoors will help you a lot. Stay connected with supportive people. At this time, you know those that are supportive towards you and those that are not. So this is the time to take advantage of those that are supportive towards you and really build a relationship and really encourage a relationship between you and accept help from them. Yeah, be patient with yourself. You brought a whole human being into the earth. So there are some things that you should let go. There are some, perfectionism and things that you like being perfect that you should let go. Because this is time for you to just relax and feel good and feel thankful to God for the success that you came out alive, your baby came out alive and well, and you're able to move on. Yeah, postnatal depression also happens to women who gave birth and their baby passed, whether it is one of a multiple birth or the only baby they gave birth to passed. It also triggers postnatal depression. So, for whichever one you're going through, I just want to encourage you and let you know that you should talk to a healthcare provider promptly. Consider counseling or therapy. Look for online solutions where you can talk to people. And if you're somebody that has faith, look for one that aligns with your faith. For people, if you're a Christian, look for Christian counselors that handle such, and I'm sure you'll benefit from their services. If you want to see them physically, if you want to talk with them online, search accordingly and you will see for people that are around you. Medication may be appropriate at a particular level. So when the person becomes suicidal or wants to harm the baby or stuff like that, then medical attention is needed. Join a postpartum support group, whether it be online or physical. You could access on Facebook and other social media. You will see groups like that you could join. YouTube is also your friend. There are many groups like that you can always watch their videos and learn. When you know that you're not alone in a venture, then it helps you, it relieves you, makes you feel better. Involve trusted family members in your recovery plan. Your husband, your partner, for example. Let them know what you're going through. Let them know what you need and how you want to come out of it. And they will support you and root for you, definitely. So remember, postpartum depression is treatable. No matter what you're going through, it can be resolved. So when are you supposed to seek for help? You're supposed to seek medical help when you start having thoughts of harming yourself or harming the baby. That is when you should seek medical help. Seek help when you have hallucinations. That is, you begin to see things that are not real. You begin to see, images appearing in different positions, but they are not for real. Or you are having delusions. You have severe concussion or loss of touch. Like you don't have emotional feelings, or you don't remember stuff. Yeah, there's pregnancy brain, but this one is like somebody that is in shock, more of. Yeah. So if you're in shock or loss of touch with reality, this is possible. This is possible to be postnatal depression, and then you should consult medical help, and it is an emergency. I want to reassure you that postpartum depression is treatable. You might not even go to the extent of having medical help, but it is something that can be resolved. It is something that has not come to stay. It's something that can be handled. There was a time, one of my pregnancies, that I had an emergency CS, and I had this feeling. Then I didn't know what it was. I just, had as if there was darkness around me, as if I was always scared of death, always scared of being alone. When I see my baby, it's as if I should throw him away, because I thought, oh, I didn't know. He looked strange to me. He looked weird to me. I didn't want to touch the baby. I didn't want to spend time with the baby. It was a wonderful time, you know. So one day, what did I do? I'm a Christian and I practice my faith firmly. So what I did was one day I just woke up and told myself, enough of this. You cannot die. You live to declare God's goodness in the land of the living. So I spent time, held myself, and prayed over my body, prayed over my mind, prayed over everything about me, prayed over my child, prayed over my husband, the children, and I spent time praying. That was in the middle of the night. Everybody was sleeping. I couldn't sleep anymore. I had to stay awake and do this. And by the time I was done, I declared over that situation that it was never going to occur again. And I declared that from now, my joy has returned. From now, I am healed because it was as bad as I was feeling as if my bones were drying up. I was feeling as if my body was shrinking and my skin was sticking to my bones. I was feeling very horrible. But after praying that prayer that night and talking to myself, I spoke to myself. I spoke to myself. I said, you're not dying. You're not going anywhere. You're not leaving your children. You live to declare God's goodness. And after that, what happened? I began to see changes. The skin that was tightening up began to release. Everything didn't go away immediately. Once in a while, I would have, then now I don't have such things anymore. So I would have, would I say a relapse or something like that, and I will speak the word of God, and I will stand by what I had said, and then the symptoms will disappear. This was how I brought this under subjection, and this was how I was free from it. And I've talked with many other ladies that have gone through issues like this, and they have been healed because of this. So if you're a Christian, don't sleep on it. Don't say tomorrow. Try this out. And if you try this out and you're still having issues, please get therapy. Search online, search physically for people that, especially people that correspond with your faith, that will be able to help you and guide you through this. And when it comes to the worst, then you can go for medications when they advise so. So it is something that a lot of women are experiencing all over the world. So you don't need to be ashamed. You don't need to feel bad. It's nothing you did wrong or nothing you didn't do that is causing it, but it is just something that comes with childbirth. And it is something that you can overcome. And I'm here rooting for you. You don't need to go through it alone. Go through this video. I'm sure there are some parts that will resonate with you. If you've been through postpartum blues, if you've been through postpartum depression, please share in the comment section if you feel comfortable sharing. Ask your questions and just like and share to people that you know that would need this. Share to the men as well, because some men will be wondering what their wife is going through, why she's behaving weird, why she's doing things the way she does it. So this is going to help them too. So share to people and subscribe to the channel if you find value in the things you've seen. Remain blessed and see you in the next one.